structuring US real estate investments for German regulated institutional investors, in my experience, sometimes feels like riding a roller coaster. Things move fast, there are ups and downs, and you need to make sure that nobody falls out of the car. And so this really, from a US and German tax perspective, I think translates into three main observations I'd like to share. Number one, in structuring investments, always start with the investor first. A brilliant US tax structure works great from a US perspective, but just imagine the investor cannot do it because it would otherwise lose its tax-exempt status. So always best idea in structuring, start with the needs and the requirements of the investor first, and then work your way down the hills and valleys of the US tax rules and regs. Second, qualified foreign pension fund exemption. There's a rule under US law basically allowing for a tax-exempt exit gain for so-called qualified foreign pension funds. Very interesting, especially for regulated German pension funds. And I mean, while that sounds great, obviously, as always in tax law, the devil's in the detail. So there are a couple of things that really have to be considered, especially when using Luxembourg feeder vehicles. So that should be considered in tax planning, ideally, even when the investment is set up. Third, unfortunately, in this market right now, some investors realize tax losses from their US real estate investments. The question there is always, how can I use those losses for tax purposes? The problem with that is that the structures as they have usually been set up, so-called blocker structures, allow only to a very limited extent to utilize US tax losses. So that is something that should be taken into account, and maybe just to figure out, is there a way of restructuring investments, ideally before losses are even realized.
Cool.
Finally, obviously, tax is not everything. Tax is not the most important thing in life. So especially in structuring US real estate investments, always important to share thoughts, ideas, experiences. And this is why the USA conference is such a great opportunity for that.